Hello friends, welcome back to another 13 days of Halloween Tumbler tutorial. In this video, I'm going to do a little bit of a reimagined slash updated version of this tutorial that I made a couple of years ago. This is a distressed peekaboo, and I wanted to redo this, but also update the design a little bit, do it a little bit differently with a different theme and kind of vibe. I will link the original video down below in the description box if you want to check it out, but we're going to do a new version here today. So I'm starting out with my glittered tumbler. This is a 24-ounce plump from the Tipsy Magnolia. This was a pre-prepped tumbler, so it already came white, and I just added my glitter, which is Cherbear from Peachy Olive Glitters, onto that white base, as you can see here. And now I'm going to add my first 2 coats of epoxy over the glitter. So you can pick any color combination you want, any glitter you want. This first layer of glitter is what's going to end up being the peekaboo, so just keep that in mind as you are selecting your colors. But once I've got those 2 coats of epoxy on, I'm going to clean up my top rim really well with my craft knife, sand any spots that might be a little rough. Cherbear is a really fine cut glitter, so we don't have too many pokey bits or anything that we need to worry about. I'm really going to focus a lot of my sanding up at the top rim of the cup. One thing I wanted to do differently in this design versus in the original is do 2 different glitters on the tumbler. So in the original, I just did 1 glitter color on the whole cup and then did the distressed peekaboo over that. But I thought it would be kind of cool to have the peekaboo shapes. We're going to do bats on this design. So have the bats be 1 color of glitter and then have the portion at the bottom of the cup that's peeking out under that distressing, have that be a different color. So what I'm going to do is tape off a bottom section of my tumbler. You can make this section as big or as little as you would like. Just keep in mind that that bottom color of glitter is not going to get peekabooed, so you just need to decide how much of the bottom glitter you want versus how much like peekaboo space do you want at the top. And if you would prefer to, you can do these 2 glitter sections at the same time, but I wanted to just do it this way so I could decide exactly how big I wanted that section to be at this stage in the designing process versus earlier, you know, and having to like section my cup out, glitter 2 separate times and wait for it all to dry and seal it and all of that. For me, at this point, it was easier to just glitter the whole cup, epoxy it, and then add this second layer of glitter over it. But you can do them at the same time if you want. That's totally fine. It will not mess with your design at all. So I mixed together my acrylic paint and my Adhesive Apothecary glitter glue, brushed that on that bottom section of my tumbler, and now I'm going to go in with my orange glitter. I'm going to use Mega from Peachy Olive Glitters. So we'll do the bats will be purple, the bottom portion of the cup will obviously be this orange, and then we're going to do a really fun, bright, like neon lime green over the peekaboo to make this very Halloween, of course. I let that glitter glue dry for maybe like 45 minutes to an hour, and then I sealed it using my favorite sealer mixture. This is a 50-50 mix of the Crystalite glitter glue and water. So I'm going to put that on my tumbler, let it sit and dry for about 2 hours, and then I'll add another 2 coats of epoxy to my tumbler. For all of my epoxy coats on this design, except for the final coat, I'm using the Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Fast Cure Epoxy, and the weather's been relatively warm still. We haven't gotten into the super cold fall weather yet, so I've been able to apply coats with waiting like maybe 3 hours in between. Depending on your environment, the temperature, humidity, all of that, you might need to wait a little bit longer. Maybe you can wait a little bit less, but I've been able to apply coats after about 3 to 4 hours. So after those 2 coats of epoxy are applied over our orange glitter, we can start to add our stencils for the peekaboo. So I'm going to apply some thick blue painter's tape over the majority of my orange section to just mask that off from spray painting. And then I'm going to add my bat stencils. So this is my favorite stencil vinyl. Of course, if you would prefer to use removable, you absolutely can. For me, stencil vinyl always works the best for peekaboos, so that's what I use every time. And I cut these at 2 different sizes. I'm really just going to place them all over that purple glitter section. I'm going to try to put as many as I can on here. I always like to show as much glitter as possible when I do a peekaboo, so the more stencils you do, the more glitter will show through your peekaboo. Once I had my stencils applied, I took the cup outside and spray painted it with that neon lime green spray paint. This is from Montana Colors, so I will link it down below if I can find it for you. It's super duper vibrant and you do not need to do like a white base underneath. This was sprayed directly over the purple glitter and you can see how good that coverage is. Before I start peeling my stencil decals up, I'm going to make a little mark on my paint, just like a little score mark with my craft knife, to give myself a reference for where I need to like stop distressing. I know that I put my painter's tape about an inch below where the orange glitter starts. So I just went about like a half an inch down, made myself a little mark just so I know where to stop distressing, because I don't want to show the line where the purple glitter and the orange glitter meet, obviously. So I'm just going to give myself a little point of reference to make sure that I don't distress too far. Once I've got all of these peeled up, I'm going to remove that painter's tape down at the bottom, and then I'm going to start distressing that straight edge of my paint. To do this, I'm going to use acetone and 91% rubbing alcohol. And like I say in all of my distressing videos, you want to use the acetone to remove the bulk of your paint, and then you'll use the rubbing alcohol to clean up any of that leftover paint residue that the acetone will leave behind. So the acetone's the main worker here, and then the rubbing alcohol kind of comes in and cleans up the acetone's mess. After peeling up all the stencils and doing the distressing, I went into another very thin coat of epoxy. All you want to do is just seal the paint in, so that coat can be like 10 to 15 milliliters of epoxy. And once that's cured, we can add our decal. I had a really hard time picking a decal for this design. I went back and forth with a bunch and then finally settled on this really cute, simple one from Sincerely Barbie. It's a little vampire smiley face that says, "Have a spooky day." Very Mal vibes with this one. And what I'm going to do is a little bit of layering here. So the decal comes just with the smiley face with no background. But what I did was create a circle to make the smiley face look like it was filled in, and we're going to layer that underneath the smiley face itself. And then I created an offset of the lettering portion so that we can do just like an offset decal like we pretty much always do. So what I'm weeding here is the offset of the lettering and then obviously the smiley face. So we're going to layer this a little bit weirdly. I did this one time and then I messed it up, so I did it again. So you'll see the letters are already on the tumbler, and then I had to redo the smiley face because I layered it wrong and messed it up. So that's why the letters are already there. But what you'll want to do if you're going to do this all in one piece and you're not going to mess up like I did, you'll want to layer the circle for the smiley face background down first, and then you'll lay the smiley face on top of it, and then you can lay down the top lettering for your letters. The top lettering for your letters. I'm very smart. So the order would be background circle, smiley face with offset lettering, and then the top layer for the lettering, if that makes sense. Okay. So I've got my offset for my lettering on the cup already. Now I'm going to add the circle that I cut out. This is Teckwrap Craft Vinyl. I don't know the exact name of this color, but it's just like an orange sunsetty chrome color. And then I'm going to add the smiley face outline over that. And when I recut the smiley face, I decided that I wanted to cut it out of this glittery vinyl, also from Teckwrap Craft. So we've got textured metallic vinyl in onyx for the wording offset, and then we've got a little bit of a glittery smiley face. And then for the top layer of our lettering, we'll use the colorful pearl white vinyl from Teckwrap Craft as well. Before I add my final 2 coats of epoxy, I am going to seal this vinyl, and I'm going to use the Adhesive Apothecary binding potion. Just going to do a thin coat of that over my vinyl, let it dry for about 30 minutes, and then we'll add those last 2 coats of epoxy. For my final coats, always I use the Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Artist Cure epoxy because it has extra UV protection, which will prevent your cups from yellowing over time. So once that final coat is cured, we are all done. So here is the final tumbler design. I love how this turned out. I'm so happy with this reimagined version of that tumbler I did a couple years ago, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know, as always, what you think down below in the comments. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and I will see you all in my next 13 Days of Halloween video. Thank you all so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you then. Okay, love you! Bye! Hello friends, thanks so much for watching this video. I want to say a huge special thank you to my elite fam, my channel members, and my subscribers. You all make this channel possible, so thank you so much for being part of the fam. If you want more exclusive content from me, you can join my elite fam at patreon.com/elitefam. You can find my tumblers and digital files on my website madebymalstudio.com. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram at madebymal_studio. Here's another video for you to check out, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Love you. Bye.